Imagine you have achieved financial freedom. You've done it. You've achieved what millions dream of, complete financial freedom. Your investments generate more money than you could spend. Your assets multiply while you sleep, and your bank account has more zeros than you ever imagined possible. You've escaped the rat race, broken free from the 9-to-5 grind, and reached what society calls the ultimate achievement. But let me ask you something that's been weighing heavy on my heart. Why do so many people who reach this summit still feel like they're standing in a valley? You see, I've spent years studying success, observing those who've achieved extraordinary financial wealth, and I've discovered something profound, something that challenges everything we've been taught about freedom. I've met billionaires who can buy anything they want but can't purchase peace of mind. I've encountered entrepreneurs who've built empires but feel imprisoned by their own success. I've spoken with investors who can move markets with a single trade but can't move their lives in a meaningful direction. What if I told you that financial freedom, this grand goal we've all been chasing, is actually just the beginning? What if I told you that focusing solely on financial freedom is like building a magnificent house on a foundation of sand? It might look impressive, it might even stand for a while, but eventually the foundation will crumble. And when it does, it won't just be your wealth that falls, it will be your sense of purpose, your relationships, your legacy, everything that gives life its true meaning. Today we're going to explore a truth that many successful people discover too late, a truth that's been hidden beneath the glitter of wealth and the allure of financial independence. We're going to uncover why achieving financial freedom, while important, is merely one piece of a much larger puzzle. We're going to talk about why the ability to buy anything you want doesn't guarantee the ability to become who you're meant to be. This isn't just another discussion about money or wealth creation. This is about understanding the difference between being rich and being truly free. It's about recognizing that while financial freedom can buy you a nice house, it can't make that house a home. It can buy you a library of books, but it can't give you the wisdom within their pages. It can buy you a bed in the finest hospital, but it can't buy you health. It can buy you a social circle, but it can't buy you true friendship. Society has sold us a beautiful lie, a shimmering mirage that keeps us running through the desert of life. That mirage is the idea that financial freedom alone will quench our thirst for fulfillment. We chase it relentlessly, believing that once we reach that magical number in our bank account, everything else will fall into place. But let me tell you what I've seen in the eyes of those who've reached this supposed oasis. I remember sitting across from a man who had built a technology empire worth billions. His company had revolutionized an entire industry. His name graced magazine covers, and his wealth could last 10 lifetimes. Yet as he spoke, his voice carried a weight heavier than all his achievements. I can buy anything, he told me, but I've lost the ability to enjoy the simple pleasures of life. My children see me as an ATM rather than a father. My wife knows my net worth but doesn't know my dreams anymore. This isn't an isolated story. It's a pattern I've witnessed repeatedly among the financially free. They've mastered the art of accumulation but lost the art of living. They've gained the world but lost their sense of wonder. They've achieved independence from financial constraints only to find themselves imprisoned by the very wealth they worked so hard to obtain. Let's be clear about what society tells us financial freedom means. They say it's having enough passive income to cover your expenses. They say it's being able to quit your job, travel the world, buy what you want when you want. They say it's about never having to worry about money again. And yes, these are valuable goals, but they're woefully incomplete. What they don't tell you is that financial freedom without purpose becomes a golden cage. They don't mention that unlimited resources without direction often lead to unlimited emptiness. They forget to mention that the ability to do anything you want becomes paralytic when you don't know what you want to do. I've seen people achieve financial freedom only to find themselves more trapped than ever, trapped by the expectations of others, trapped by the fear of losing what they've gained, trapped by the endless pursuit of more. They've escaped the prison of poverty only to build themselves a more comfortable prison, one with golden bars, but a prison nonetheless. The truth is, financial freedom is just one type of freedom, and often it's not even the most important one. It's like having a perfectly tuned engine in a car with no steering wheel. You have all the power you need, but no way to direct it toward a meaningful destination. You can accelerate faster than ever before, but without direction, you're just burning fuel going nowhere. But here's the real tragedy. Many people don't discover this truth until they've spent decades climbing the ladder of financial success, only to reach the top and realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. They've won the game they were playing, only to discover too late that they were playing the wrong game altogether. When we expand our vision beyond financial metrics, we discover 4 critical dimensions that true freedom must encompass. These dimensions aren't just add-ons to financial success. They're the very essence of what makes life rich with meaning and purpose. Let's first explore the dimension of purpose and legacy. Money can fill your bank account, but purpose fills your soul. I've observed that the most fulfilled individuals aren't those who've simply accumulated wealth, but those who've discovered why they were given the ability to create wealth in the first place. Your purpose isn't just about what you can get. It's about what you can give, what you can build, what you can transform. Think about the great innovators and creators throughout history. Their names aren't remembered because of their wealth, but because of how they used their resources to serve a purpose greater than themselves. Consider this. When you reach the end of your journey, people won't calculate your net worth, they'll calculate your net impact. They won't measure the size of your house, but the size of your influence. They won't count your dollars, but they'll count the lives you've touched. This is where true wealth begins, when your resources align with a purpose that outlives you. The second dimension is impact and contribution. Financial freedom can give you the ability to buy anything, but impact gives you the ability to change everything. I've sat with countless wealthy individuals who felt poor in their impact. They could move financial markets, but couldn't move hearts. They could acquire companies, but couldn't acquire fulfillment. True freedom means having the capacity to create ripples of positive change that extend far beyond your immediate circle. Impact isn't measured in dollars and cents. It's measured in lives transformed, in problems solved, in innovations created. When you understand this, money becomes what it should have been all along. A tool for impact, not the impact itself. It becomes the fuel for your contribution, not the contribution itself. The question changes from how much can I make to how much can I give? How many lives can I touch? What problems can I solve? The third dimension is personal growth and mastery. Financial freedom can buy you education, but it can't buy you wisdom. It can purchase knowledge, but it can't purchase character. The wealthiest person in the room isn't always the one with the most money. It's often the one who has invested the most in their own development, in expanding their understanding, in deepening their wisdom. True freedom means having the capacity to continuously evolve, to challenge your assumptions, to push beyond your comfort zone. It means never settling for who you are today because you're too focused on who you can become tomorrow. The most successful people I know aren't just wealthy in resources, they're wealthy in perspectives, in skills, in wisdom gained through constant growth. The fourth dimension, perhaps the most crucial, is relationships and community. Here's a truth that many learn too late. Financial freedom can buy you companions, but it can't buy you true connection. It can fill your house with guests, but it can't fill your life with genuine relationships. I've met too many people who achieved financial independence only to find themselves in emotional poverty. Rich in assets, but poor in meaningful connections. True freedom includes the ability to build and maintain deep, meaningful relationships. It means having the time and emotional capacity to be present with those you love. It means creating a community around you that values you for who you are, not what you own. It means having the freedom to nurture connections that enrich your life in ways money never could. These 4 dimensions, purpose and legacy, impact and contribution, personal growth and mastery, and relationships and community, create a framework for understanding true freedom. When these align with financial freedom, you create something remarkable. A life that's not just wealthy, but rich in every sense of the word. A life where success isn't just measured by what you have, but by who you've become and what you've given. The tragedy is that many people sacrifice these dimensions in their pursuit of financial freedom, only to discover that they've gained the ability to buy anything while losing the ability to enjoy everything. They achieve the freedom to go anywhere but feel at home nowhere. They gain the power to influence markets but lose the power to influence hearts. This is the paradox of pursuing financial freedom in isolation. The very pursuit can blind us to the other dimensions that make freedom meaningful. It's like focusing so intently on building the perfect vessel that you forget to fill it with anything worth. Let me share with you what I've witnessed in the lives of those who've pursued financial freedom at the expense of everything else. The price they've paid goes far beyond anything that can be measured in monetary terms. It's a cost that accumulates silently, like interest on a debt you didn't know you were accruing. Time, the one resource that no amount of money can buy back, becomes the first casualty. I've watched entrepreneurs miss their children's entire childhoods, convinced they were doing it for their family's future. They were present at every board meeting, but absent at every birthday party. They succeeded in building empires, but failed to build memories. By the time they achieved their financial goals, their children had grown up, their parents had passed away, and the moments they sacrificed were gone forever. The deterioration of relationships follows closely behind. Marriage becomes a business partnership. Friendships become networking opportunities. And family becomes an obligation rather than a joy. I remember a conversation with a successful CEO who realized she could name every major shareholder in her company, but couldn't tell me her daughter's favorite color. The pursuit of wealth had slowly eroded her ability to maintain genuine human connections, leaving her with a network of contacts, but no true confidants. Health becomes another hidden cost on this balance sheet of life. The stress of constant pursuit, the pressure of maintaining wealth, the sleepless nights, the skipped meals, the neglected exercise, they all exact their toll. I've seen people accumulate millions in their investment accounts while simultaneously accumulating health problems that no amount of money could solve. They traded their vitality for wealth, only to spend their wealth trying to regain their vitality. Perhaps the most devastating cost is the loss of opportunities for impact. When every decision is filtered through the lens of financial gain, we miss countless chances to make a real difference in the world. Innovative ideas that could transform lives get discarded because they don't promise immediate returns. Meaningful projects get abandoned because they don't fit the profit margin. The irony is stark. In pursuing the freedom to do anything, many lose the ability to do something that truly matters. The spiritual and emotional emptiness that follows is profound. It manifests as a gnawing void that no amount of material success can fill. I've sat with billionaires who can buy entire islands but can't find peace of mind. They've achieved every financial goal they set for themselves, only to realize they've become strangers to their own souls. Their inner world has become as barren as their bank accounts are full. This singular pursuit of financial freedom creates a peculiar form of poverty, a poverty of purpose, of connection, of meaning. It's like climbing to the top of a mountain only to discover that you've been climbing the wrong mountain all along. The view might be spectacular, but the victory feels hollow because the achievement, while impressive, isn't fulfilling. The time has come to fundamentally redefine what freedom means in our lives. True freedom isn't just about having enough money to do what you want. It's about having the capacity to become who you're meant to be. Let me share with you what real freedom looks like when we expand our vision beyond the financial realm. First, there's the freedom to create. This is the ability to bring your ideas to life without being paralyzed by fear of financial loss. But it goes deeper than that. True creative freedom means having the courage to innovate even when the path isn't clear, to experiment even when success isn't guaranteed. I've observed that the most profound innovations often come from people who weren't just financially free, but were free from the need to prove themselves through their wealth. They created not to add zeros to their bank accounts, but to add value to the world. Then there's the freedom to serve. This is perhaps the most misunderstood aspect of true freedom. Many believe that financial freedom will allow them to serve others, but they've got the sequence backward. The greatest fulfillment comes when we understand that serving others isn't something we do after achieving freedom. It's a path to freedom itself. When you're free to serve, you discover that your resources, whether abundant or modest, become tools for transformation in others' lives. Consider the freedom to grow. Financial wealth can buy you access to the best schools, the finest teachers, the most exclusive seminars. But the freedom to grow means having the humility to remain a student of life regardless of your achievements. It means being free from the ego that often comes with financial success, free to admit what you don't know, free to start over, free to fail forward. I've seen billionaires stuck in mental prisons of their own making because they lost this freedom to grow. The freedom to transform lives extends far beyond charitable giving. It's about having the capacity to be fully present when opportunity for impact presents itself. It's about being able to mentor someone without checking your watch, to fund a promising innovation without demanding immediate returns, to support a cause simply because it matters, not because it offers tax benefits. This freedom allows you to become a catalyst for change rather than just a contributor to causes. Perhaps most importantly, there's the freedom to leave a legacy. But I'm not talking about leaving behind a large estate or having buildings named after you. True legacy freedom is the ability to shape the future even when you won't be around to benefit from it. It's the freedom to plant trees whose shade you'll never sit under, to start projects that might not bear fruit until the next generation, to invest in changes that might take decades to manifest. When we redefine freedom in these terms, we begin to see that financial freedom is merely one tool in a much larger toolbox. It's not the end goal. It's a stepping stone toward these deeper, more meaningful forms of freedom. The truly free person isn't the one with the most money, but the one who has developed the capacity to create, serve, grow, transform, and leave a legacy. This expanded definition of freedom requires a different kind of wealth. A wealth of purpose, a wealth of character, a wealth of wisdom, and a wealth of relationships. These are the true currencies of a life well lived. When we understand this, we stop pursuing financial freedom as if it were the ultimate goal and start seeing it as what it really is, one component of a much richer and more meaningful kind of freedom. True freedom must rest on multiple pillars, each supporting and strengthening the others. When we understand these 7 essential pillars, we begin to see how financial freedom, while important, is just one part of a much larger structure of personal sovereignty. Let's begin with mental freedom, the foundation upon which all other freedoms are built. Mental freedom means liberation from limiting beliefs, from the constraints of conventional thinking, from the prison of other people's expectations. I've encountered individuals with vast financial resources who remained trapped by their own mental barriers. They had the means to do anything, but lacked the mental freedom to imagine beyond their comfortable boundaries. Mental freedom allows you to see possibilities where others see problems, to create opportunities where others see obstacles. Emotional freedom stands as our second pillar. This is the ability to experience life's full spectrum of emotions without being controlled by them. Financial wealth can't buy emotional intelligence or emotional stability. I've witnessed many achieve financial independence while remaining emotionally dependent on external validation, on others' approval, on the temporary high of each new acquisition. Emotional freedom means having the capacity to maintain inner peace regardless of external circumstances, to respond rather than react, to choose your emotional state rather than being governed by it. The third pillar, social freedom, transcends mere financial status. It's the ability to be authentically yourself regardless of who's in the room. Many achieve financial freedom only to find themselves trapped in social cages of their own making, always performing, always maintaining an image, always wondering who's genuine and who's there for their resources. True social freedom means having the confidence to be yourself, whether you're in a boardroom or a coffee shop. Physical freedom forms our fourth pillar. This goes beyond being able to afford the best healthcare or the finest gyms. It's about having the energy, vitality, and health to fully engage with life. I've known too many who sacrifice their physical well-being on the altar of financial success, only to spend their wealth trying to reclaim what they lost. Physical freedom means having the vitality to pursue your purpose, the energy to serve others, the strength to embrace life's adventures. Time freedom, our fifth pillar, represents something money alone cannot secure. Having financial resources doesn't automatically translate into having control over your time. I've met wealthy individuals who were more time poor than entry-level employees. True time freedom means having the ability to allocate your hours according to your values, to be present in moments that matter, to invest your days in what truly fulfills you. Purpose freedom, the sixth pillar, stands as perhaps the most profound. This is the freedom to align your life with your deepest calling, to pursue what makes your soul come alive. Many achieve financial freedom only to find themselves adrift, lacking direction or meaningful pursuit. Purpose freedom means having clarity about your mission and the ability to organize your life around it. Finally, we arrive at financial freedom, not as the ultimate goal, but as the seventh pillar that helps support and enhance all others. Financial freedom, when properly understood, serves as a tool to strengthen the other pillars. It provides resources for personal growth, opportunities for impact, and means for pursuing purpose. But without the other pillars, it becomes a burden rather than a blessing, a source of confusion rather than clarity. These seven pillars work in harmony, each reinforcing the others. When one is weak, the entire structure becomes unstable. This explains why so many who achieve financial freedom still feel unfulfilled. They've built one strong pillar while neglecting the others. True freedom comes from developing all seven pillars concurrently, creating a stable foundation for a life of meaning, purpose, and impact. Let me share with you the practical steps to building true freedom in your life. A freedom that transcends mere financial independence. The journey begins today, not when you reach some arbitrary number in your bank account. Start by conducting what I call a freedom audit. Take stock of each pillar we discussed. Rate yourself honestly. How mentally free are you from limiting beliefs? How emotionally stable are you in the face of challenges? How authentic are your social connections? How vibrant is your physical health? How intentionally do you use your time? How aligned are you with your purpose? And yes, how sound is your financial foundation? Your transformation requires daily practices that strengthen each pillar. Begin your mornings with activities that expand your mental freedom, reading, meditation, or journaling. Invest time in emotional development through self-reflection and meaningful conversations. Build authentic relationships by being present and vulnerable. Prioritize your physical well-being through consistent movement and mindful nutrition. Guard your time like the precious resource it is, learning to say no to what doesn't serve your purpose. Measure your wealth not just in dollars, but in impact. Create a personal impact scorecard that tracks lives touched, problems solved, and value created. Remember, true wealth accumulates in the hearts of others, not just in bank accounts. Balance isn't about equal distribution of time and resources across all areas. It's about intentional allocation aligned with your highest purpose. Some seasons may require more focus on financial growth, others on relationship building or personal development. The key is maintaining awareness of all pillars while you strengthen each one. Most importantly, start building your legacy today. Every interaction, every decision, every investment of time and resources should be viewed through the lens of long-term impact. Ask yourself, how will this choice affect not just my bank account, but my character, my relationships, my contribution to the world? Imagine with me for a moment a world where success is measured not just by financial metrics, but by the richness of our impact. A world where freedom isn't confined to bank statements, but expands into every dimension of human potential. This isn't just a dream, it's the next evolution of human achievement. You see, the pursuit of financial freedom alone is like trying to build a symphony with just one instrument. Yes, you might create a melody, but you'll never experience the full richness of the orchestra. True freedom is your complete symphony. Mental clarity, providing the rhythm, emotional intelligence, adding depth, social connections, creating harmony, physical vitality, maintaining the tempo, time sovereignty, conducting the peace, purpose, giving it meaning, and financial resources, amplifying it all. Today you stand at a crossroads. One path leads to what society has traditionally defined as freedom, the pursuit of financial independence alone. The other path leads to something far more profound, complete freedom, true sovereignty, lasting impact. The choice is yours. But remember this, your life isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about accumulating impact, wisdom, relationships, and purpose. It's about creating a legacy that transcends financial statements and touches the hearts of generations to come. Don't settle for financial freedom alone. Reach for complete freedom, because when you do, you won't just change your life, you'll change the world.